everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Courtney, and this week I am sharing another one of these meal prep videos with you guys. I actually am really into meal prepping. I've been doing it for a couple of years now. I do it almost every single week, although, sometimes we have stuff going on, holidays or a vacation or something like that, and I don't meal prep, but usually I do. Typically, I will meal prep on a Sunday. Sometimes I'll do it on a Saturday and Sunday if I've got a bunch of stuff to make. Really just depends, but I like to set myself up for a really good week, and I feel like meal prepping does that. If you're not meal prepping, I can't advise it enough. It is really a lifesaver for me. Sometimes I make better food choices. I feel like my life is more together, really. It's funny, the little things that happen when you just have good food ready to go and you're not eating ramen for lunch or something like that. Anyway, for this video, I am going to start off by prepping some veggies, which I've done before. I like to shred my lettuce. I'm working with iceberg lettuce today. I shredded it and put it in one of those food storage containers. I'm not totally into those, but I will say for things like lettuce or grapes, those containers really, really extend the life of your produce. Most of the time, I can use zip top baggies or a regular plastic container, but there's a couple of items that I feel like those storage containers make a difference. Lettuce is definitely one of them. If you don't have one of those containers, I suggest a zip top bag with a paper towel shoved down in the bottom to help absorb the moisture that collects in there, and that way your lettuce doesn't get soggy. I'm also prepping some celery because I have celery and I'm going to be using it to make some tuna later on in this video. I'm going to prep some bell pepper, some cucumber. I will slice up those tomatoes, and all of this stuff has a purpose. So the lettuce and tomato I'm prepping so that 1, we can have salad, 2, we can have sandwiches, any kind of sandwich really, but for sure BLTs, because I had planned to have BLTs over the weekend. I cooked Saturday night, but I didn't cook lunch during the day Saturday, and then I cooked lunch on Sunday, but I didn't cook anything else. So we would obviously want a little something else to eat. BLTs really were perfect. I had all this stuff ready to go, and that just makes it so much easier, I cooked my whole pack of bacon. It was ready to go in the fridge. Life kind of came together better. Anyway, with the lettuce and tomato, I'm also prepping the celery, the bell peppers, and the cucumber. And those are for veggies and dip because we really do enjoy those particular veggies dipped in mostly ranch dressing, but sometimes we'll use, French onion or something like that. But we like them in ranch, and then also in salad. I've got everything prepped and ready to go, so it takes me 2 minutes or less to throw together a salad. Whether I'm doing it for lunch or I'm doing it as a side to our dinner, it's there, it's ready to go, and it's super, super simple. I am much more prone to serve salad if it's ready to go, especially on a weeknight where I've got stuff going on or we're busy or something like that's going on. It's just handier to have it ready to go, and that really is what meal prep is about. You have your meals ready to go. It makes your life simpler. Everything's organized and ready to go. You're not stressing about it. You're not worried about it. That's what I like about meal planning too, right? I plan my meals for the whole week. I'm actually one of those people that typically will plan what we're eating on what day. And I don't often change it, but sometimes I do. And I plan it that way because I know I've got XYZ going on this day, and I want to make sure that we have leftovers so I don't have to cook that day. Things like that. But my life just flows so much better. I've got my stuff listed out that I need to pull out of my deep freeze to thaw and what day I need to do that, so it's ready to go and it's in the fridge. Everything just kind of falls in line. Now, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I totally forget to look at my meal plan and forget to take something out to thaw, but it really does kind of help me keep things more organized and less stressful. There's nothing like that stress of walking into your kitchen at 5 o'clock going, oh my gosh, what are we going to have for dinner? Everything's frozen. And then of course you end up with a pizza, and then you feel bad because you're trying to eat better, and pizza, So again, meal planning and meal prepping, they are key, guys. They really help kind of keep everything together and organized. Now, like I said, I'm doing celery and cucumber and bell pepper. You can do whatever veggies you want. Most veggies hold up really great in the fridge. We'll probably have these in the fridge for just a couple of days, 3, maybe 4 days. They won't last that long. Between salads and sandwiches and snacks, they won't last. Sometimes I will slice up some cheese too, like I'll just get a block of Longhorn cheddar or something like that and slice it up, pepper jack cheese, something like that, because my husband and I especially will eat a little bit of cheese, sometimes that horseradish cheese that you see me get in my grocery hauls, but not every time and not this week, then that's fine. Anyway, I can't think of any other vegetables to throw out there other than radishes. We eat a lot of radishes. We really like radishes. Carrots. Oh, carrots are good when those hold up great in the fridge. I'm not a huge fan of carrots, so you won't see them in my food prep very often. But sadly, my husband and my youngest really like them. I probably should make them more. I used to not cook them very often because my oldest was allergic to them, but I probably should make them for other people in my household now. Also, those sugar snap peas that you find in the produce section, those are really, really good in salads. They're really, really good to dip, and they hold up pretty well in the fridge too. So yeah, there's a few other options out there. Anyway, aside from just vegetables, as you can see on the counter, I do have some fruit. I love, love, love to have some fruit prepped because I'm really bad about not eating fruit. I'll eat my veggies all day long, but the fruit I forget about. It's not on my radar. You know, if I want something sweet, I'm really heading for a chocolate chip cookie, not an apple. But I'm trying, you guys. During the summer, I'm a whole lot better because there's really good melons in season. I like watermelon, I like cantaloupe, I like all that kind of stuff. So I'm a lot better about my fruit choices during the summer. But during the winter, there's not as much stuff out there. It's like apples and bananas and not a whole lot. Now, I will say these golden kiwis are amazing. They're so good. I really, really like them. They're really sweet. They have a great flavor. They're high in vitamin C. So I did get those. They were kind of pricey. I don't remember them being quite as expensive the last time I bought them. But again, inflation, I think, is going on and getting everything kind of out of control. Anyway, I peeled them and then I just kind of cut them in half and then diced them up. They're super good. I've already eaten a whole bunch of them. They're so, so flavorful. If you haven't tried the golden ones, really give them a shot. They taste very different from the green ones. I like the golden ones much, much better. And then on the back of the counter, you can see I do have some pomegranates. They're a winter fruit, so they are much more affordable during the winter. So I've really been enjoying buying those the last month or two. The only problem is, watch me make a mess with this. I am not good at getting the seeds out of these things, and I've tried the hacks on TV, the hacks on the internet, all that stuff. I make a mess. I'm not good at this. But I do my best and I don't give up. And, you know, I ended up with a big bowl of pomegranate seeds and I'm working my way through. I love pomegranate seeds and I feel like they're one of those really, really healthy fruits. I haven't done any research on them. I just feel like they're super, super healthy for you. So, I mean, I think they're perfectly good to eat then. Anyway, I did spend a good chunk of time getting those seeds out. I'd say probably 10 minutes. It was a long time, but it was worth it because I love them and it's way cheaper to do it this way than to buy the containers of seeds. Man, those things are expensive. These pomegranates, I think, were like $1.25 each. And the little container of seeds, which I think might be one pomegranate, is like $5 at my store. That is a huge markup. So I'm just going to keep doing it myself for now. But it was worth it. They're super tasty. They're really good. I'm sure that they're good for other things. I don't know what else you could do with them besides just eating them. But I'm sure there's a lot of other things out there. Let me know down in the comments if there's another recipe you can use them for. I would love to hear about it. I do get the juice sometimes too. That pomegranate juice is really, really tasty. But anyway, just prepping fruits and veggies is not the only thing I do. I just like to start off that way because I feel like they're kind of the backbone and the basis of what I need throughout the week. Now I've got this stuff ready to go. It's easy for me to throw all kinds of stuff together or just grab a snack or whatever I may need from it. But again, it's not the only thing I do. Here's my little ranch dressing rundown. I've shown this in a video before, and I will just link that if you guys are looking for the recipe. I kind of just doctor up a package of ranch dressing mix. Like I said, I'll link the video in the description if you want the measurements and things like that. Super good. It tastes way better than just following the package instructions. Way, way, way better. And is it just me, or does making it from the packet taste way better than a bottle in general? My family agrees with me. It's just way better this way. Anyway, I try to have this on hand. It's great on salads. It's great to dip our veggies in. It's just really, really tasty. So there is my ranch dressing. Okay, so let's talk about something that I haven't made on my channel and some of you might not be making at home. These are energy balls. I don't even know where I originally got this recipe from. I will go ahead and link a recipe for these down below, but I'll be really, really honest. Every recipe I tried, the measurements never quite work. So it's one of those, it's like dough, you know, when you're making pizza dough, sometimes you have to add more flour just to make it the right consistency. These are like that. Anyway, I started off with some oats. I measured those as I always do. And then from there, it's more of a free for all because I know it's not going to work. But the basis of the recipe is oats and peanut butter. You can use crunchy or creamy. I'm using creamy just because I think my people like that better. And then I put in some honey and some mini chocolate chips. You can leave those out if you want to, but I really think they add something special. And then I put in some protein powder mix. That's just chocolate protein powder drink mix. That's all it was, nothing fancy. You can add in things like flaxseed if you want. I've added those in a ton of times in the past. I happened to be out, so I did not do that this time. But it's a great opportunity to throw in a lot of different things like that that kind of boost the how healthy these are, really, at the end of the day, the amount of vitamins and stuff that you're getting in there. So throw in just little things like that. Anyway, you want this to come together and be a consistency that you can touch and you can roll into balls and it's not going to stick to everything. It'll still feel a little sticky, but it's a dough that you can work and roll into balls. So I just kind of continued adding in mostly oats, but a little bit more protein powder until it came together and formed a dough. And it's going to be a hard dough. It's going to be a little hard to work with, but that's okay. That's okay. Don't worry. Just kind of keep mixing and it'll all work out. Now, once you've gotten it all incorporated really, really well and it's formed a dough that you can roll and handle, then I just used my cookie scoop to get it into like little ball forms, and then I rolled them and I popped them in a dish and I called it a day. These don't last long in my house. They taste really, really good. If you are a fan of Reese's peanut butter cups, you will probably really like this recipe. You could, of course, exchange the peanut butter for any other nut butter of your choice. I would just watch, because some of them, like almond butter, is a lot thinner than peanut butter, so you're probably going to have to add more oats, more protein powder, just to thicken it up. That's kind of up to you. I use just regular old-fashioned oats because that's what I had on hand, but typically I will use rolled oats. That's my preference. I just like the texture better. But again, I was just using up something I had. I don't cook a lot with old-fashioned oats. I don't even remember why I purchased them to begin with. So this was a perfect moment to just kind of use some of these up. Now, I had also planned to make some date balls and it just did not happen. So stay tuned for another one of these videos, hopefully next week, where I will be making those date balls because they're my favorite. My husband really likes these. He is not a fan of dates, but my oldest and I, we love dates. So that'll come next week, I'm sure. But anyway, these energy balls are so quick and simple to throw together. And I don't know off the top of my head like the fat and calorie count or anything like that. But of course you could use all natural peanut butters. I was using up what I had in my pantry. But you could use any kind of all natural peanut butter, any other kind of nut butter. You can make sure your honey is pure natural raw honey, things like that. And of course play with the oats. Like I said, I prefer rolled oats. So use whichever ones you have, whichever ones you want, but that would be my preference. And like I said, old-fashioned is what I used today, and it worked out just fine. And then I always use the mini chocolate chips just because I think they're more palatable. If you only have regular sized chocolate chips, I'd kind of just run a knife through them really quick to break the size down a little bit, just to make each of these like a little bit better in your mouth, easier to eat, that sort of thing. The texture of them is kind of like a dough-like texture, so the hardness of those chocolate chips really sticks out, so I would just want to break it down a little bit. I don't think I've really kind of veered off and tried too many alterations to this recipe, but I'm sure there's a ton of things out there you could do. I can't off the top of my head think of too many other flavor things. Maybe a little bit of cinnamon in there. Oh, I bet that would be really, really good. Have you guys tried these before, or any like different varieties of this? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you thought of them. If there's any other flavors I could try out there. My family loves these. I'm sure they would really be thrilled if I, had a different flavor take on them. I'm sure they'd love that. Okay, on to another very quick, very, very simple snack, trail mix. You can make this any way you want to. You can use any ingredients you want to. You can use whatever is in your pantry. This is what I purchased just because it's what I wanted. I started off with those Nature Valley Crunchy Bits. It's like a broken up Nature Valley granola bar. And then I just added in some slivered almonds, some coconut, some white chocolate chips, and some dried cranberries. And I stirred it all together and I put it in a zip top bag. And that's it. That's trail mix. There's nothing more, nothing less. You can put in whatever you want. You can put any nuts in you want. You don't have to put any kind of chocolate chips in there. I chose white chocolate because it's my husband's favorite. If I was making it for me, I would probably do dark chocolate because that's my favorite. You can put peanuts in there if you want. I've done that in the past. You don't have to have the granola bits. I'd just never seen them before and I thought, oh, that's cool. So I threw that right on in. But whatever you want, throw it together in a bowl, mix it up, put it in a bag, and that is trail mix. I love how simple that is. Okay, so I'm using up some of the stuff that I did just prep with you guys to show you how quick and simple it is to throw together a salad. This is a sub salad. That's my take on a Jimmy John's sub. You could use any kind of lunch meat you want to make whatever sub you like. My favorite sub is the Vito from Jimmy John's, which is just like salami, pepperoni, lettuce, tomato, onion, cheese, mayonnaise, and their like vinaigrette that they throw on there with some oregano. So I sliced up a couple of slices of salami and 2 slices of Swiss cheese, and then I mixed some of that the sub dressing with a little bit of mayonnaise, and that's going to be the dressing for my salad. I'm going to put in the lettuce, the tomato, the meat, the cheese, stir it all up, and guys, it tastes like a sub sandwich without the bread. It tastes so good. Of course, you could pile this inside of a sandwich if you wanted to. I was trying to cut fat, cut calories, all that kind of stuff, but look how fast my lunch came together on Saturday. That's how fast. It was super simple. And it was healthier than a lot of other choices I could have made on that particular day. It was healthier than the BLT I was thinking about having. This was so good. It really hit the spot if you love a good sub sandwich. All right, so let's meal prep for my husband. I'm making him these pork chop and stuffing casserole things. I don't even know what they're called. I'm going to start off by seasoning these pork chops. I just have some garlic, salt, and pepper seasoning by Kinder's. I think it's called the blend. But I season both sides of my pork chops. And then I'm going to take a can of cream of mushroom soup and just kind of smear that over the top and smother the pork chops in that. And then I'm going to take a box of stuffing mix, stovetop, whatever brand you want, whatever flavor you want. I'm going to follow the package directions and I'm going to get it all prepped and ready to go. For mine, it was just water and butter. And then you mix it up and let it soak up all the moisture. It took like 3 minutes, super fast, super simple. Once that was all nice and soaked up and ready to go, I just piled it on top of those pork chops. And then I popped that in a 350 degree oven for 45 minutes. It could not be easier. These things are tender and juicy. They are full of flavor because that stovetop stuffing has so much flavor in it. And it's really simple. I mean, it took me minutes to put this together. But my husband has 4 lunches for the week right there, ready to go. Again, I know this is not the healthiest lunch, but it's healthier than what he could be eating. It's healthier than takeout, burgers, fries, pizza, all that kind of stuff. And it's much more economical. There is what it looks like when you pull it out of the oven. It was so delicious. Okay, so let's move on to breakfast. I prepped breakfast for both my husband and my oldest son because they are big breakfast eaters, and I just decided to do some breakfast sandwiches. So I started off with a pound of breakfast sausage, and I'm just going to cook it in my skillet until it's cooked all the way through. I love that little meat masher thing. It really breaks apart the meat and makes it so much easier to cook. But I just used that to get this all broken down and then kind of browned it on both sides so that it was completely cooked all the way through. Now that the sausage is completely cooked, I pulled out this little tiny pan. I actually think this is called an egg pan. It came with my new cookware set that I got for Christmas. So I put a little bit of bacon grease in the bottom of the pan, and then I put some of that sausage in there. And then I scrambled one egg off camera, just underneath the camera. And I poured that in there. And then I'm just going to kind of scramble it just a little bit in the pan, especially there in the center. This is going to help it cook just a little bit more evenly. I'm not sure that I showed that part in here, but that is what I do. There we go. Scrambling it in the center. This helps it cook a little bit more evenly, cook all the way through, that sort of thing. And essentially we're just making like an omelet here. But this pan is the perfect size for a 1-egg omelet like this that will fit perfectly on a bun. This is going to make an awesome breakfast sandwich. And it did. My husband actually texted me this morning. He was like, this is so good. So this was a total win. His, of course, I'm keeping simple. It's just egg and sausage. He likes it that way. He likes it simple. But I'm just going to kind of let that cook after I scrambled a little bit. I'll let it cook on the stovetop. And then here in a minute, you'll see me, check the sides, make sure that it's holding together and all that. And then we're just going to flip it over and cook the other side. And this did not take long at all. They cook very quickly because it's just like a 1-egg omelet. See how well that's holding together? If it wasn't, I would let the liquid egg kind of drain off to the side a little bit and let it cook a little bit more. But we just cook it evenly on both sides, and this omelet is good to go. It's that fast and that simple, and that makes the filling for our breakfast sandwich. And you could do this with anything. I mean, you could put potatoes in there, chorizo, bacon, any kind of veggies you want. Here in a second, you'll see me actually put some veggies in the other one for my son. But it's that fast and that easy, and it comes together so quick. And these are, again, the perfect size for a bun. It made my life so easy when it was time to make the sandwiches. Anyway, that one is done, and I made 5 in total like that for my husband. And now on to my son. I took a spoonful of my homemade salsa, which I did make in my What's for Dinner video that just came out a couple of days ago. I will link that down below if you're interested in my salsa recipe. But I put that in the skillet and let it cook for like 30 seconds to get some of the water out. I put in a little bacon grease, and I put in the sausage. Again, scrambling it there in the middle just to kind of get it to thicken up a little bit so it sets. And we get a really good omelet this way. And we're just going to cook it just like we did the other one. And I did make 5 just like this. So there's 5 just plain ones with sausage and egg, and then 5 with the sausage, egg, and salsa. That salsa is so good when it cooks. Oh man, and my kitchen smelled amazing. Of course, store-bought salsa is fine too. This was just such an easy recipe to make the salsa. It comes together really quickly. But if you haven't added salsa to your eggs when you're cooking breakfast in the morning, you got to try it. It's so good. Way better than like the shaker hot sauces, like the Louisiana hot sauce or something like that. Salsa is really where it's at. It's so good. But anyway, like I said, we cooked this exactly like we did the other one. Nothing's different. You just cook it really well on both sides, and it sets and it's beautiful. And there you can see I am making the last of those breakfast sandwiches. They fit perfectly in those buns. I wrapped them up in that Glad press and seal, and then they can just microwave those whenever they're ready to eat them for like 30-45 seconds, and you've got a nice hot breakfast that is all ready to go. Also, feel free to put cheese on them. I put cheese on my husband's, just not on my son's. If you've been here a while, you know my son does not eat cheese. All right, on to the last thing that I prepped. This one's for myself. I made some tuna salad. So simple, so easy. I may have even made this on my channel before. I'm not 100% certain that I didn't. I got that food chopper for Christmas. I love it. I am getting used to it though, so. Anyway, I started off with a couple of cans of tuna. I put them in a strainer, like a fine mesh strainer, and just kind of squeezed all the juice out because I want that tuna bone dry before I start making this tuna salad. Then I went ahead and just diced up an apple in my little food chopper there, and then 2 to 3 ribs of celery. I like a really chunky tuna salad. If you don't like it as chunky, feel free to go less on the items or leave them out completely. It's up to you. Some people even put hard-boiled egg in there. I did not do that. You are more than welcome to, though, if that's what you like. Anyway, I dumped all of that in there, and then I'm going to put a little bit of mayonnaise. I try not to go too heavy because I don't want it to be like really liquidy. Just enough mayonnaise to kind of hold everything together so it stays in the sandwich if I'm doing a sandwich. I'll rotate. Some days sandwiches, some days I'll just eat it with a fork. I'm also going to put sweet pickle relish and dill pickle relish in here, some salt, some pepper, some onion powder. And today I tried something different, and I'm really pleased with the results. I added some dill. I love dill. If you watch my channel, you know I love dill. I throw it in a lot of stuff. Today I threw it in my tuna salad, and it was awesome. I will be doing that from here on out. You don't have to do that. You can skip that step. I might be crazy. I just love dill. Anyway, mix it all up and you're pretty much good to go. Tuna salad is really pretty healthy. It's got a lot of protein in it, and I try to not go overboard with like the mayonnaise. I try to keep it super chunky with the apple and the celery. It has a lot of flavor and it's still, on the healthy side. Anyway, eating on a sandwich is fine, or just with a spoon is even better because it cuts out those extra calories and carbohydrates from the bread. But yeah, that is my lunch for the week. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this meal prep video. I enjoyed sharing it with you. I'm not sure how many more of these I'll share. We'll see what I'm making next week. But anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. I enjoyed visiting with y'all this week. Y'all have a really good one, and I will see you soon. Bye.